Can you believe I tracked my expenses every day for 30 days? Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. You know it's official when we got the computer out. I have not added up my expenses yet for February, but that's why I'm doing this video today. It's gonna be a little bit of a monthly financial reset, and I'm really looking forward to comparing, my expenses on the things that I could actually control, not my fixed expenses like rent, phone bill, insurance, and all those other little things like subscriptions that I know are coming out on auto pay every single month, but the controllable expenses and categories like my gas, my groceries, my shopping, and other aspects of just my transactions. So I'm going to add up every single purchase that I made in the month of February. I'm going to sort it out through the categories and compare that to what I was spending last month in January. Girl, January was rough. I spent so much money just on furniture and just getting the apartment settled. I spent so much on my groceries. Girl, it was like $800. I would love to see that be cut significantly, and I'm pretty sure I did because I was not nearly going to the grocery store as many times this past month in February the way that I was going in January. I went 9 times to the grocery store, guys. Okay, so I was spending a lot of money on groceries, and I also spent a lot in my shopping category in January. I spent $2,571.81 on shopping. That was obviously including some furniture pieces, book clothes, and beauty products, essentials. And ideally, if I could have reduced the amount that I was spending on my shopping for February, I would be a happy girl. Okay, I also spent quite a bit on eating out. I would say for me, $125 last month was a lot. I'm sorry, for January. This is confusing because I'm a little bit late on this video. But basically what I want to do here is compare what I was spending in January to February, because I started implementing a tracker. I was logging every single transaction. I don't care how big or how small it was. I was logging it. I was categorizing it. I was putting down whether or not this was a want, was it a need, what day did I purchase this, where did I purchase it from, and what was the item. Was it getting gas? Was it eating out? Was it me shopping online? What was it? So I could see exactly where my money was going, how consistently I was shopping and spending money, and making myself more aware. I think for me, I was always used to logging into my bank account online and checking my balance. Sure, the bank keeps a trail of our transactions, but for me, there was something about going in and physically typing out the transactions that I was making that was making me more aware of my spending habits. And I was noticing that I was having less days where I wanted to spend money because I didn't want to go log it. And I almost wanted to have these little streaks like, okay, I didn't go shopping today, let's keep that up and not spend money tomorrow. So I had significant days that I was not spending any money. I wasn't buying anything online. I wasn't leaving my house. And that honestly made it a lot easier not to spend money. When you go outside, you have to get gas for your car. You know, maybe you want to go pick something up to drink or to eat. Maybe you want to run into the store. You know, it's just so much easier to be able to, swipe your card here, swipe your card there, check out with PayPal here. And before you know it, you're just racking up all of these expenses. And for me, I was purchasing kind of expensive things now that I'm looking at individual purchases, but I wasn't spending money every single day. It was a lot of needs in my categories versus wants. Some things I'd go out and I'd get a need and a want. Like if I went to Sephora, I would need to pick up my skincare routine, but I might pick up a want item at the same time. So it got a little bit blurry there. And I haven't added up any of these categories just yet, but I know I actually was a little bit more social in February, so naturally I would have spent more money eating out. Usually when I'm social, I'm meeting up with family or friends, it involves food, so I'm gonna have to spend money eating out. But for the majority of the time, I'm so good about getting my groceries, cooking at home, and relying on cooking my own food. So I'm definitely predicting that I cut back on my grocery bill because I was not going to the grocery store a couple times out of the week like I used to do. I would go to the store, get things for tonight's meal, maybe a little bit of something for tomorrow, or I'd buy something that I was craving in the moment, or I'd be picking up unnecessary items because they looked good in the store. And I was doing that a couple times out of the week, and boom, I was spending $800 for one person. I know groceries are expensive now, but that's just insane. I was also shopping at Whole Foods a lot in January, and I made myself a goal to eliminate Whole Foods altogether, except for getting my dairy-free substitutes like my milk, my yogurts, my butter, that type of stuff that I can't get at Trader Joe's. But I was relying on Trader Joe's, and the prices there, unmatched. So I'm definitely looking to see a cut in my groceries. Gas, girl, I went to the gas station twice. 2 times. I drive a Jeep. Terrible mileage, okay? So for me, I moved closer to the city, so I'm not having to spend 2 hours in my car commuting every day to the things that I like to do. So at one point in time before I moved, I was spending $300 on gas. So I'll show you guys in this video when I add everything up how much I actually spent in February. And then also for my shopping, I was definitely wanting to get home stuff, and girl, I have this thing with like home soaps. Don't ask me why, but I love a little bougie soap and hand lotion combo, so I'll allow myself to indulge in that because it makes me happy, and I really enjoy luxury home things. So I definitely shopped at Diptyque. I ordered some stuff on Amazon for the apartment, and I mean, I don't really think I got that much. I did shop at Gymshark. I spent about $280 on some activewear because they did a launch, and I'm waiting for that package. It's supposed to come tomorrow so I can do a review. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I shopped. Oh, that's a lie. I did buy new makeup routine. So I spent some money at Sephora. However, I did make some returns. So I ended up spending a couple $100s on makeup products and my daily skincare routine to re-up on that. And then another thing that surprised me too, because I did buy coffee out. Why was it $29? Well, let me explain. I treated my siblings to coffee. My parents ended up coming into town for like a couple hours, so I coordinated us linking up and going out to dinner or lunch. My dad paid for lunch. Thank you for that. And then they left, and it was just me and my siblings hanging out, so I treated them to coffee. And I think my brother got a smoothie or something. So, I mean, things like that I don't mind if it's for a reason. If I'm just making it a daily habit of getting coffee and that's a part of my routine, absolutely not, baby. We can make our coffees at home because it's just ridiculous. That was three different beverages for $29. So that's about $10 each. So and that was a tip too, but that's crazy. I'm not doing that. So I don't mind on occasion when it makes sense as a treat, but yeah, no, we're not doing that every single day. And then there were some celebrations in here that I ended up paying for as well that fell into my eating out category. So I'm definitely expecting that to be probably more than double of what I spent last month. And also February was a short month, so I feel like with shorter days, you can expect to spend a little bit less than January. So I'm interested to add everything up and see what the final results were as far as tracking my expenses every day for a month. Guys, I'm not mad. Some of the things I'm like, whoa, we did go a little crazy at Sephora. I think it was about $500 at Sephora. Girl, I know. I did want to get some new body care, and baby, the Fenty got me, okay? I'm not mad because I'm obsessed with it, and it just makes me feel really good. But the comparison, I am actually really proud to say I saved $323.85 on my groceries compared to January. So for me, that is really exciting to see what a little bit of tweaking can do to where I shop and how I structure my meals at home and shopping with intention. So I spent $485.22 on groceries in February just by going to Trader Joe's. And like I said, I think I went to Whole Foods one time to stock up on dairy-free alternatives. But that is amazing. Kayla, you did it. You did it. So I'm really proud to say that I really found what works for me and where to shop that makes sense. The next category definitely shot up, so I guess this makes up for that difference. I ended up spending plus $103.94 compared to January. So what I spent on eating out in February was $229.49. That's a lot for me because I don't eat out, you guys. Like, I don't. That was maybe a couple times eating out at Mi Vida. I went to Bar Taco with Kayla. I got coffees with my siblings. And I got a pastry out one time. So it was 4 occasions. I spent $225. See how easily that just adds up? And if you're doing that mindlessly, it is so easy to just spend so much on eating out, and food in general is a big bulk of, I think, a lot of our budgets as a category. The next one was the gas, and I ended up spending $94.51 on gas, and that was 2 trips to the gas station. So in comparison, I ended up saving $20.91. So I love to see that. We know gas prices fluctuate, and I definitely pay attention to where I go get my gas. It is so overpriced where I live. So I never get gas in my hood. I always go get gas when I'm at the gym or I'm at my parents' house or something, because I refuse to pay $3.80 something when I could pay $2.99. Like, make it make sense. It's just such a scam. And then the next category is the shopping budget. The shopping budget is one that fluctuates, I feel like, the most for me. This is also a fine line of what is a work expense versus a personal expense, because what I do for content is my business. So I can write off my Sephora haul. I can write off a Fenty body cream if I show it in a video, whatever. If I want to review an activewear outfit, you know, which I did from Comfort, I bought something from them for a video, that is a write-off. But it's a fine line of, okay, am I just buying this for myself or am I buying it for content? And I try not to just use that as an excuse to buy and get things for the sake of doing a video and overspending because, oh, I can write it off. Oh, I can put it in a vlog. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. No, we can contain ourselves and still buy nice things, buy new things, review it, and not have to do it in an OD way. I actually spent $1,851.11 on my shopping category. This was compared to January, where I actually saved $720. So I reduced the amount that I was spending on my shopping category. And this category is very general. It's home essentials, it's pet care items like flea medicine, dog food, poop bags. I also got into reading, so I bought some books in February. I bought a vase. I bought a sweatsuit from Comfort, like I said, to review, whole new makeup routine, body care items. I also went and ordered stuff on Gymshark, spent a couple $100 there. So this is like basic things too, like if I'm buying detergent, you know, like those things, those basic items for your house, that I all lump together in my shopping because I feel that this is the most controllable thing. Like, you can choose not to shop, you can choose not to buy clothes, you can choose not to buy new beauty products and stuff. It's fluctuating. So I just happen to really enjoy buying new items to test out and review for content. So it does get a little bit tricky of, like, do I really want to cut back? I mean, yeah, I did. The proof is in the pudding with the savings. I also wasn't buying furniture, like expensive pieces for my apartment this month compared to in January. So that definitely could be why I cut back there. But I was also buying home scents from like Diptyque, which is more luxury. So that was a big ticket purchase there. And newsflash, I'm obsessed with the items. And I would definitely order again from them because I want to try more of their fragrances. And then the final category I have is my unexpected purchases. I had to get an inspection on my car. That was $20. And I also got a car wash because we had a lot of snow and there was a ton of salt on my Jeep and I just felt like it was not good for the paint. So that was $20 as well. and I only spent $40 unexpectedly. Oh, also for shopping, I got my nails done, and guess what? 2 of my nails broke. But did I enjoy having my nails done? Yes, I did. The whole nail thing, baby, I missed having my claws, but clearly I don't know how to act because I broke 2 nails. So I don't know. I'm definitely looking to get my nails done again because I feel really cute with them done. I'm not gonna lie to the people. The people is me. I'm not gonna lie to myself. I really enjoy having my nails done. So anyway, with the money that I'm saving, I would definitely like to hold on to some of it so that we can add that to the emergency fund by the end of this year. My goal is to save $10,000 while still being in debt. I mean, I don't want to be in debt, but like trying to actively save while you have credit card debt. So those are my financial goals this year. And when I see that I've been able to cut back on certain areas of my spending habits, it makes me feel excited because those amount of savings can be added into your savings account. And I've always been, I don't want to say taught this because this is something that I picked up when I was researching in my debt journey. You shouldn't just save what's left over. You should plan to save. You should work that into your spending plan or your budget and plan to save that money. Otherwise, you might spend it and not even know that you're spending it on eating out or whatever, you know? So set an amount that you want to put into a savings and then do that. Pay yourself first. That's what I'm trying to get in the habit of doing. And I've never been one to really budget. This is where like me actually physically writing out every single transaction really did it for me. It's like, okay, the pudding stuck. Is that the phrase? It stuck with me to be able to physically see it. It's like when you take notes in school, you kind of just remember it more because you're hearing it and you're writing it. I think that's what did it for me versus just making a budget and saying, oh, I'm only going to spend $500 on shopping this month. Oh, I'm only gonna allow myself to spend $200 on groceries this month. That does not work for me. It's a lot of restriction and it's just too much work. Prices of groceries fluctuate just as prices of gas fluctuate. So going over in a category like eating out would make me feel terrible when I know that I'm mindlessly working on a spending plan. And for me, this tracking system falls into my spending plan and bringing the awareness. If you don't have awareness, then it's kind of hard to just be aware or keep track rather of what you're doing day to day and where you're making mistakes. I wouldn't say mistakes, but where you could improve, right? When you actually physically see it in front of you. So that's kind of just my monthly reset. I am planning on tracking my expenses. I've already logged my first few for March with this same sheet that I made in the Notes app on my computer. Also, you can add it to your phone. So I found myself just logging my purchases as soon as I would get out of the store, take my receipt, do it immediately. And I got in the habit of doing that. So I definitely recommend tracking your expenses if you are looking to kind of save some money or see what your habits are and where you're spending and maybe where you're overspending. I think it's just helpful. It's kind of like tracking your calories, right? You don't know what you're eating until you weigh your food out and you log it in an app, right? It's kind of that same thing for me, and I think that's why it's working. Now that I think about the two as a comparison, yeah, it was like a good little bit of motivation for me, and I'm honestly excited to have more no spend days. That's my video for today, you guys. I hope that maybe I inspire one of you to maybe track your expenses for March. Do it with me, and then we can kind of collectively come back next month and compare and maybe get an average. I would love to like track for a couple months and see how I do as a whole. So if you guys would be interested in a follow-up video to this one, definitely thumbs up and drop a comment down below. And I will see you girls in my next video.